Our eighth inductee today is a practicing lawyer, a former legislator, and current chairman in his second term of the State Ports Authority, Carl J. Stewart, Jr. Mr. Stewart's induction will be performed by Dr. George List, former head of the Civil, Construction and Environmental Engineering Department at North Carolina State University.
David, thank you very much. Begin by saying that to me this organization is very special and unique. It's wonderful that it takes the time to recognize past and current contributors to the life of transportation in North Carolina. It provides visibility to the contribution that transportation makes to economic development and prosperity in our state, throughout the nation and the world. As you are all aware, the ports are an important part of that empowerment. It's a great privilege for me to introduce Carl Stewart, Chairman of the North Carolina State Ports Authority Board of Directors. As you can see from the program, he was born in Gastonia and attended Ashley High School. He went to Duke University and was awarded a bachelor's degree and a JD degree, then subsequently in 1961. A member of the American Bar Association, the American Trial Lawyers Association, and the North Carolina Bar Association. He was elected to the North Carolina House of Representatives in 1967 and served his constituents until 1980, the last 4 years of which he was the Speaker of the House. And when Larry Good reminded me of that this morning, I said, oh, that's very important. Throughout his legislative term, he was a supporter of better transportation for North Carolina, introduced and or endorsed many bills that improved roads across the state. He served on the North Carolina Board of Transportation from 1981 to 83. He was a member of the Economic Development Board and the North Carolina Board of Technology from 1999 to 2001. And to me, that illustrates the connection that he sees and that we see between transportation and economic development. In 2004, Governor Easley appointed him to be the chairman of the North Carolina State Ports Authority Board of Directors, and under his leadership, the Ports Authority has engaged in significant expansion programs at both the ports of Wilmington and Morehead City, including the proposed North Carolina International Terminal in Brunswick County. The ports have attained considerable milestones under his leadership, and because of that, and because of his great vision for the state of North Carolina, in 2010, he was reappointed to his position of being in charge of that board by Governor Beverly Perdue. We are all very thankful for the leadership that Carl has provided to the state. Please join me in congratulating Carl on his induction into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. I recall that just after I was elected Speaker of the House in 1977, a former speaker came to visit with me, and he said, Mr. Speaker, I want to give you just two pieces of advice. First of all, remember that on any given issue, you may be wrong. And secondly, don't ever kiss anybody's fanny, unless it's absolutely necessary. And Walter was talking about governors and their interest in transportation. When Huey Long was first elected governor of Louisiana, Louisiana was about 30 years behind North Carolina in roads, and Huey wanted a 2-cent tax in Louisiana and announced that that's what he would be asking the legislature for. The legislative leaders came over to Governor Long and said, Governor Long, we've considered your request and we've decided we're going to give you 1 cent of that 2 cents. He said, well, fine. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pave a mile and skip a mile. Pave a mile and skip a mile. And he got the 2 cents. I want to recognize my colleagues, members of the board at the North Carolina Ports Authority, and the staff, if you will please stand. Great board and great staff. Thank you. There is not enough time here to make a pitch for the new international port. But I will say to you that a century from now, when folks like Walter Turner are writing the history of transportation in North Carolina, if we don't build that port, they will write, why in the world didn't you do that 100 years ago when you had the opportunity, when you had the magnificent site on which to do it? One of the great things about my service has been the work I've had with the governors, beginning with Dan Moore, Bob Scott, Jim Hunt, Jim Holshouser, Jim Martin, Mike Easley, Beverly Perdue. I've had the great honor to work with all of them on transportation issues. And those who are still living are still my friends, and they are still working on transportation issues. This is an incredible honor, and I'm deeply grateful.